All right, let's talk about joint genesis. There's a lot of buzz out there, so we're going to cut right through all that noise. What we've done is dig into the actual customer reviews to give you a real, straightforward breakdown of what people who've actually used it are saying. So let's just get right to it. Does joint genesis actually live up to all the hype? I mean, that's the real question, right? If you're someone dealing with joint pain, you don't care about the marketing buzz. You just need to know if it works. So let's dive into these user reviews and see what they have to say. And just to be super clear, what you're about to hear is based only on first-hand accounts from detailed reviews. We're completely setting aside the official marketing stuff. Our focus is 100% on what real users are claiming. Okay, so first things first. What do reviewers even say this stuff is? Let's start with their definition. Across the board, reviewers call it an all-natural supplement that's made to help with muscle and joint pain. But it seems the claims go a bit deeper than just that. They talk about it improving flexibility, cutting down on inflammation, the things that really get in the way and affect your quality of life. All right, that sounds good, but how is it supposed to work? What's the mechanism of action that these reviewers are talking about? How does it actually get you those results? So according to one reviewer, the main problem it's supposed to tackle is something that happens as we get older. You know that natural fluid that lubricates and cushions our joints? Well, apparently we lose it over time. And that loss, they say, is what directly causes all that pain, stiffness, and makes it harder to move around. So the process they lay out is pretty simple. As you age, that key molecule drops off. Then that natural lubricant in your joints starts to thin out and dry up. And what happens next? Well, that's when the joints get stiff, uncomfortable, and downright painful. The whole idea behind joint genesis, according to these claims, is to step in and basically rehydrate and relubricate those joints, getting right to the root of the problem. Okay, so that's the theory. That's how it's supposed to work. But let's be real. What actually matters are the results, right? The tangible stuff. So what are people actually saying they felt? Here's a quote from a reviewer named David that really stood out. He said, "Not only did I notice less discomfort, but I felt stronger, regaining flexibility and strength in my muscles and joints." Now that's interesting because it points to something more than just pain relief. He's talking about actually feeling stronger, getting flexibility back. That sounds less like just masking symptoms and more like a real foundational change. And then there's this quote from Jane, which I think gets to the heart of what a lot of people are probably hoping for. She says, "When taking joint genesis, you are going to be able to exercise again." I mean, that's huge, right? It's not just about sitting on the couch without pain. It's about getting back to your life, being active. That's a really powerful claim. So if we pull everything together from these reviews, a pretty clear picture starts to form. People are reporting less joint stiffness, less back pain, and just better mobility overall. They're also talking about renewed flexibility, more strength, and, less inflammation. It's a pretty comprehensive list of benefits. Okay, let's get into the practical side of things. What do the reviews say about actually buying it? What about guarantees or any warnings you should know about? And this is where things get a little weird. We found a major inconsistency. One reviewer claims you can try it for a full 6 months and get your money back. But another one says it's only a 60-day guarantee. That's a big difference, and it's a huge red flag that you absolutely have to verify the official terms for yourself before you even think about buying. But here's something both reviewers completely agreed on, and it's super important. They both warn that you can only get the real product from the official website. This is to avoid fakes and knockoffs that might be floating around on other sites. It's important to note that the link to the official, secure website for the joint genesis is down in the video description. So we've looked at how it's supposed to work, what people claim it does, and the details on buying it. What's the bottom line? What's the final verdict from these reviewers? Well, this last quote from David really seems to sum up the general feeling. He says joint genesis is worth every single penny and could turn things around very, very fast. That's a pretty powerful endorsement. Not just that it works, but that it works fast and is worth the money. So what's the takeaway here? Based on the reviews we looked at, the claims are incredibly positive. But, and this is a big but, we saw that conflict in the money-back guarantee. That just proves that it's crucial for you to do your own homework and verify everything directly. At the end of the day, the decision is totally up to you. Thanks for watching this review. If this video helped you make a decision, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next analysis. See you in the next one!